UFC Fight Night Garry versus Prates finished up a few hours ago, and I'm going to be recapping the main event, Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. I said Prates would get it done by round 2 TKO. That was my prediction. Boy, was I wrong. Ian Garry got it done by decision in the most Ian Garry way possible. I'm going to be breaking down the fight round by round and just giving you my opinions on the fight and how I think the fight went. So we'll start off round number 1. Ian Garry won it 10-9. I was expecting Prates to come out and start swinging. You know what I mean? Like, I was obviously a 5-round fight. He's going to take it a little bit slow. Garry was controlling the pace of this fight. You know what I mean? So very low output, boring our first round. Good takedown defense from Prates, though. I think Garry attempted 2 takedowns this round, stuffed both of them. But then he kind of like slips towards the end of the round, and Garry gets a little bit of ground and pound, which gives him the slight edge in round number 1. The fact I'm even saying that just disgusts me to my core. But I guess that's what we're gonna have to do here. I guess it's just Ian Garry, bro. It's Ian Garry. There's a coincidence I'm gonna have to point out here. Every single Ian Garry fight is boring. All right, doesn't matter who it is. You could put this man up against Prime Chandler, swinging for the whatever, swinging for the stars, bro. And Ian Garry will still somehow find a way to take it to a 48-47 decision of leg kicks at range and jabs. You know what I mean? So Garry won this round. Clear Garry win. I mean, I expected better from Prates, bro. No aura whatsoever. Fighting nerds gone. Round 2. Garry won this round. Obviously, Garry he was controlling the pace of the fight again, piecing him up a little bit on the feet. I said Prates would get the knockout with this round, by the way. So, that prediction aged horribly. Garry's piecing him up on the feet. Prates is starting to gas. I'm not going to lie, he's starting to gas. Maybe it's not, maybe the best base for MMA is not smoking 12 cigarettes a day, 3 hours of sleep, and living off a diet of booze and smokes. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not the best base for MMA, Carlos Prates. But, it wasn't like the El Gasigo we had earlier on in the card where we had, Pereira. He used all of his energy up on the walkout. You know what I mean? But this is not a full card breakdown. This is a Garry versus Prates breakdown. Garry starts landing his head kicks that are all blocked. I mean, one lands behind the guard of Prates on the side of his head. That's it. Very boring Ian Garry fight. I've pointed this out quite a few times. Ian Garry's really controlling no, I don't want to say what am I saying? The pace of the fight. Really controlling it. So you obviously know this is going to be a low output, boring air fight. Moving on, round number 3. What happened in round number 3? Absolutely nothing changed. I know Ian Garry started landing his best shots of the fight. He landed a good uppercut through the guard of Prates. Pretty much his only good shot of the fight, if we're going to be honest here, which is crazy to say considering the fact he won this like 3 rounds to 2, or pretty much 4 rounds to 1. I mean, he starts landing his takedowns. Prates is starting to gas. His lungs can't take it anymore because they're filled up with tar, which is insane. You're a professional fighter, mate. Get your shit together. But, we'll move. We'll move on to round number 4. Prates actually wins a round. Come on, the boys. Garry's still piecing him up. Prates lands a big left late in the second round, roughly about I think about a minute, 30 seconds left in the second round. Not second round, fourth round, what am I talking about? My notes said if it was the second round, Garry is out cold. If that left hand lands in the second round or the first round, Ian Garry's stiffed out on the ground. You know what I mean? Garry's got a good chin, to be fair to him. He's also very boring and defensive, but he's got a good chin, so I'll give him that. Terrible defense from the brother in round number 4 and round number 5. But we'll move. Round number 5, Prates, he gets another round back. I mean, he lands a good knee on Ian Garry. He starts putting pressure on. He should have really, I wouldn't say finished the fight, but he had Garry with about a minute left on the floor in like a half guard position, where Garry's he's looking shambolic. Not shambolic. He's looking quite shambles on the floor. If Prates lands ground and pound, he probably finishes the fight. But then again, he is tired. He's just gone through his first 5-round fight ever. Obviously, the booze and the smokes and the 3 hours of sleep aren't helping him whatsoever. Awful performance from Prates, to be honest. But that means Ian Garry won 48-47 decision. One of the judges gave it 49-46. I can get behind that. I mean, he was peaking up at round number 4. Very boring. Ian Garry does not get a title shot off that unless either Bilal or JDM pulls out, which I hope they don't. I do not want to see this absolute... I'm going to censor myself here. This absolute fraud is a champion. I'm going to call him a fraud. I'm going to keep calling him a fraud. This man's coming off a loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Beats 12th ranked Carlos Prates in a fraud checking. That... What? Man, Ian Garry, man. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this fight. Let me know what you thought of my opinions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.